When We Were Young Fest 2024, let's dive right into it. If you were up early this morning, you saw that the official Live Nation account did tweet these two images about the pre-sale that's happening Friday, and you can sign up and everything, of course, here. That got deleted. I think it was up for like an hour and a half, or maybe even 2 hours, which on the internet time is forever. That might as well have been up for 5 years at that point. So I was surprised that they didn't delete it, but now, or that they did delete it, but now it makes sense. I thought maybe the original marketing, push was to begin tomorrow, so that I was like, okay, they'll delete it, they'll start tomorrow. But it's clear, we were just waiting for everyone on the West Coast to wake up. Everyone on the Midwest and East Coast was already up and saw everything. So it's always funny when like these big brands kind of have these mistakes. I've had the opportunity, and I've been lucky enough to work with some giant companies, and there are some companies that I haven't been with in a few years, and I'm still logged into their socials. This post was not me, but yeah, so, corporate America is the same as any other job. Sometimes things just happen. But anyway, here we have the official tweet here from When We Were Young Fest, performing the albums and more, pre-sale, all that good stuff. You have all the details there if you want to head out over to the Las Vegas Festival grounds. Now, this is really interesting because this is a page out of the Riot Fest playbook. If you've ever been to a Riot Fest, you know that there's always a band playing a full album. I can't remember. I don't know if it was a thing with Riot Fest from the beginning, but it's been a thing, forever with Riot Fest. You go to Riot Fest, you know that there's some band that's going to play a, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year, whatever the case may be. An anniversary, whatever the case may be, and they're going to be playing an album in full. And it's funny, we just talked about on the channel, Warped Tour possibly coming back, and I don't know how Warped Tour could even compete with anything like this. This is the dream lineup for anybody who's into, pop punk, emo, punk rock. They're all the same thing. I've said it before on the channel before. So, if Warped Tour had come back with this, we're talking, what Warped Tour, if it does come back, to compete with this, I do not know. I like to think that I'm, a pretty good marketing mind, but I don't know how Warped Tour could, compete with this. And I've seen a lot of people, and I promise we'll dive right into the lineup in a second, but there's been some people like, oh, maybe We Were Young Fest will, move out of Vegas. If you've never been to Vegas, I can understand it being hard to understand why Vegas is the perfect place for this. Vegas is a hub. It's so easy. It's obviously a tourist attraction. Everybody knows that. It's so easy to get to. And if you've never been to Vegas, when you land at that airport, you can walk to the Strip. It is that insanely close. I've never seen an airport that close to the downtown, the hub of whatever that city happens to be. Obviously in Vegas, it's the Strip. It's insane. So if you've never been to Vegas, that's why it's a place a lot of people like to go for obvious reasons, and it's incredibly easy to get to. So that's why I really don't see it leaving Vegas, because it's the perfect place, at least in the United States, for it to happen. So I don't want to dash anybody's hopes, but I do not think the When We Were Young Fest is leaving Vegas anytime soon, to be honest. So let's dive right into it. So here you go. When We Were Young Fest 2024. Is anybody have the Blink song, the new one, When We Were Young, just stuck in their head now? Because I do. So I have the enlarged image here. Well, we'll here's the kind of like the big marketing one with all the, which is impressive here, that they actually, I don't think this is photoshopped, right? Like, or is it AI, or am I going crazy? But it looks like they have everything here. So, that's pretty cool. So let's dive into it. I'm sure I'm not going to go through every single one here. I'll have the image up, so obviously you can dive into it. But the first one here, My Chemical Romance playing the Black Parade. The Black Parade is not dead anymore as far as 2024. And where is that My Chemical Romance album? Maybe this is all, coincided with MCR's marketing plan that, they're going to have something ready in 2024. But, just off the bat, you're starting with My Chemical Romance and the Black Parade. Insane. You could see here quick, Fall Out Boy doesn't have anything yet. Which album, are they going to go for? Just look at this lineup. It is insane. I promise I won't go over every single one, but My Chemical Romance, A Day to Remember, Homesick, Dashboard, Simple Plan, No Pads, Coheed and Cambria, Under Oath, Mayday, the Main, what do we got here? The Wonder Years playing The Greatest Generation. That's kind of interesting. Is that the album that you would have thought that the Wonder Years would play? I mean, the starting line, State Champs playing The Finer Things. That one, I mean, I saw State Champs here in Chicago play to like in the early 2010s, 300 people or something. So seeing them play The Finer Things is it's just insane. I mean, Cartel Chroma, what else is here? Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Jimmy Eat World, Bleed American, Pierce the Veil, Collide with the Sky. I mean, it's insane. We'll go a little bit more here. Basement, Color Me in Kindness, Neck Deep, Life's Not Out to Get You. Cobra Starship is here. Story of the Year, Say Anything, Is a Real Boy, For Your Strong Enemy of the World. Mom Jeans, Best Buds, Census Fail, 303 is here. Oh my, Escape the Fates. The Forecast, In the Shadow of Two Gunmen is that's an incredibly underrated band and an incredibly underrated album. That's kind of crazy that it's that seeing that on here out of everything that's here, and I'm sure I missed Bayside is there. I'm sure I missed going over something. But to sing The Forecast here is crazy. If you know, you know. Forecast is an incredibly underrated band. But yeah, this is just an insane lineup for when we were young. What do you think? Is this something that you guys, to me, I'm blown away by it. I'm almost a little bit speechless, to be honest, for an entire festival to bring all of these bands and these albums together in one place, is crazy. Like I said, this would be something that even Riot Fest maybe might not be able to pull off because, they have, I don't think it was even in anybody's mind that was putting on a festival like, let's have an entire festival of albums, not do what Riot Fest normally does is like, hey, we'll have 5, 6, or 7 bands playing these albums. But this is insane. There was that tweet going around the other day or a few days ago that was like, post a flyer or ticket stub of a concert or tour you went to, years ago that now everyone would want to go see. And there was a lot of different stuff from like Turnstile or Title Fight or, tours that had like The Story So Far, Man Overboard, Transit, Tiger's Jaw, bands like that. And you look at this lineup, and I know obviously this is geared towards a little bit of the older crowd because the older crowd, late 20s, 30s, 40s, they have the money, right, for this to get on a plane, assuming you don't live in Vegas, right? You get on a plane, get the tickets. I know ticket fees and everything is crazy. I don't want to waste anybody's time and go dive into that. If you saw like how much Green Day tickets are going for on the Saviors tour, I mean, it's insane. But it's not like it's the rock and pop punk and emo scene with tickets. It's everything. A lot of those companies are just trying to make back what they lost over the last few years. I mean, that's the reason why it's happening. But it stinks, but that's why it's happening. So my point being, you look at a lineup like this, you're like, this is going to be this is going to blow the minds. I've already seen it, people going crazy on Twitter who are a little bit older than me for some of these bands because they came out. Some of these bands I have nostalgia to, but some of this stuff came out like the State Champs Finer Things came out when I was like in high school. So like that 2010s scene means a lot more to me than let's say Simple Plan in the early 2000s. And I love Simple Plan, but I don't have that nostalgic connection to it. So if you're a little bit older, let me know. I mean, this has got to be blowing your mind, right? I mean, this is an insane lineup. Like I said, if Warped Tour, we don't have any big news about Warped Tour coming back, but if it does come back, how can you compete with this? The only way I can see is right, like touring it in different places. But we went over that in that video, that Warped Tour most likely will not be that full long summer tour. But almost this is better. You have this on Saturday, one day, October 19th in 2024. And I believe We Were Young Fest did this last year as well, where it just became a second day because there was so much demand. But this will be interesting because, if you have My Chemical Romance playing the Black Parade, if we're looking at this flyer, it's Saturday, October 19th. If this thing sells out, and I think we can all agree this is going to do very well in ticket sales. Like, does MCR be like, yeah, we're going to play the Black Parade again on Sunday? So it's really interesting, just like the mechanics of a festival and what happens here. Some of these albums are a little bit longer. Some are probably, if there's no banter on stage or whatever, you could probably cut it to, about a half hour and stuff like that, or, just play faster or, whatever the case may be. But this is an absolutely insane lineup. And, When We Were Young Fest 2024, what a lineup. So that's it. When We Were Young Fest 2024. What a lineup. It's just staring at this is making me kind of go insane a little bit. This might be, the greatest emo / pop punk / punk rock, whatever, lineup, at least in a festival, that we really have ever seen. This is crazy. So what albums are you most interested or most excited to see, to hear? What bands are you excited to check out? Is there an album that's on here that you feel like should have been here? Is there a band that's playing the wrong album? The Wonder Years is kind of the one that sticks out. They're playing The Greatest Generation. Maybe you want to hear The Upsides, maybe Suburbia, maybe something like that. State Champs obviously going a little bit old school with the finer things. Is there Neck Deep? There are a bunch of different albums that they could play in full, and I think people would be really excited about. So let me know, what are you excited about with When We Were Young Fest 2024? All the details and stuff I'll have in the description if you want to go and check out the official the tweets and the website and stuff like that, the pre-order and the pre-sale and all that fun stuff. So there you go, When We Were Young 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, tell all your friends, and thanks for watching.